Okay, we are live and we're going to wait for a second to see if we get any takers here. Hello, hello.
Hello. I don't know if I can see anyone here.
I don't see anyone here yet. We can check on our guys. Hold on just a minute. Usually we get some. Let me look really quick. Let me see. I want to show this. Oh, no, I'm going to hide. Okay, that was when we can. Okay, don't worry. We'll start our own thing and discussing. Just I'm going to look at one thing on. We can go make sure we're live.
Yeah, I can make sure on my phone that we're live.
Okay, you guys, I'm so excited. I'm going to check one thing
Yeah.
really.
17 are watching. I can see it.
Up here we go. Hi, guys. We were wondering if anybody was here. Okay, look. Okay, good morning. Lori, Julie, Alyssa, Alisa, I always say it wrong. Janice, I love it, you guys. Hello, hello. Good morning. My name is Abby Bliss White, and this is my bestie. You guys have heard me talk about BISMA forever on my channel. And I just have to tell you that besides being a Biologique Recherche guru, so she is like my guru, but she's also like my little soul sister. We have become like, yeah, bestie. And so she's not only helped me with my skin and my routine, but we also are fellow little beauty junkies, perfume peeps. I would say that was a lot that we talk about. But I just adore this woman, and she is here today, you guys, to talk about, some of your burning questions about Biologique Recherche, and then we thought we would do some other fun kind of beauty chat. We are being casual. I have my tea here. But first, I just wanted to hand over the floor to Bisma. If you can give us a little bit of information about yourself, besides that you're just amazing and awesome. So
you're so cute. I'm BISMA RAIS. I am a medical esthetician at Artisan Beaute, Atlanta, Georgia. Let's see. I'm also a student alongside being an esthetician. So I'm getting my PhD in medical sociology at the moment. Oh. So I am a nerd, but also I'm a total junkie and lover of all things. So once I'm passionate about something, you'll hear me talk about it very frequently. And I love perfumes, fragrances, makeup. My story, I guess, just to kind of allude on it, is I started off by having really, really bad acne early on in my life. And it's something that I've battled and had this journey. And it's interesting because before it was a huge debilitating thing. I think anyone with acne would say that. But now in my life, I look at it as a huge blessing because I wouldn't be where I am today had it not been for that. So I'm the reason why I have, or the push that I have for what I do is because of my own personal story. So I look at everything with a very specific lens because I've tried everything under the moon and more. I'm a huge junkie. I literally am a hoarder. And I think everyone says that about me. They're I'm one of those people that get it. Let's buy it. Let's try it. So I'm always about that. But I think that life is fun and let's enjoy. And I'm excited to be here so we can talk about skin and Biologique and how amazing this product line is, but also just about skin and how amazing skin is. So I'm excited.
I'm so excited, and I love that. I think, again, probably everybody on here today can relate to having some sort of skin issue. And I think that once I found BISMA, you guys, a little background about me is that I had horrible rosacea outbreak. And that's how I had my entree into Biologique Recherche, but I had not connected with BISMA yet. So I was already on that track, but just getting a lot of information, and it's kind of an overwhelming brand when you're first taking a peek at it. It's not something that you can get a few pieces here and there, but you really do need a guru and guide to help you. And that's why I'm so excited to have you today, because there's a lot of questions. And yes, someone asked if we'll be taking questions on here. I'm going to try to get to as many as possible, but I thought I'd go ahead and jump in. And you guys, it's so nice to see everybody from Abby with Love. I'm so glad you could make it. Patty, Valerie, Louise. So anyways, we have a lot of good cuties here, and I'm so excited.
So excited.
Okay, so we had a couple like good basic questions that I wanted to talk to, because I think one of the questions is, someone said, is P50 or P50V, or not V, P50 1970, which one's better? Yeah. And I wanted to address this because when I first that was the first thing I bought. I remember listening to Carolyn Hirons, she's like the skincare, love her. Yeah. But I immediately ordered, the P50 1970, and it just was not the correct strength for my particular skin. And I think that then I was very kind of turned off, and I just think it'd be great for you to kind of explain, if that's usually how people get in their facial in a bottle. They've heard about it before. So I would love for you to kind of dispel because once I found my right strength, you guys, I cannot live without it. So go ahead.
So what I think is, I completely agree, is that I think everyone starts off with Biologique with P50 1970. Very, very rarely will you find people that just start off with the correct formula. I was also one of those people that started off with P50 1970. I knew that there were different strengths. I was kind of confused by it myself when I first started off, but I was just like, oh yeah, my skin is strong. I can take it. It's fine. But then my skin was like, no, it's not. So Biologique is quite genius in the way that they've done this, is that they created P50 in the 1970s just to kind of show that how long this brand of brilliance has been around. So there are 6 to 7 different formulas, just depending on whatever region in the world you live in. In America, the only formula we don't have is P50T, which is for thinning skins. Usually Canada and the Asian countries have this formula, but we're one of the few countries that have the 1970 formula. So the 1970 formulas, there's 2, P50 1970 and P50V 1970, both of which have phenol. So the 1970 stands for the phenol, which is how it was originally created. But there is 6 different formulas, some for pigmented skin, like melasma, hyperpigmentation, sunspots, that's my obsession. To super strong things for super acneic, thick, oily skins, like P50, P50 1970. That's who that is really meant for. If you have normal skin that doesn't really have acne or breakouts or things like that, you don't really need super strong. And I think in America, everyone is highly obsessed with this idea that I need to have super strong actives. I need to burn my face off. And that's great. And I sit here and I'm just for what reason? Our skin is an organ, and we need to respect that aspect of it and that characteristic that, hello, it's an organ. That is a fact. And so we need to respectfully be exfoliating our skin and feeding our skin nutrients instead of just trying to strip it. So a lot of people, P50 1970 is great for them, but it's not for everyone. And that's why there's 6. And that's why you have to talk to your esthetician, because you cannot self-diagnose. I would say majority of people that have come to me that have gotten P50, even sometimes there are even estheticians and other experts that do recommend them incorrectly, especially if they can't see your skin or if they're not analyzing your skin based on pictures. When you're buying online blindly, and even sometimes if you're just kind of giving a description and not showing pictures, there's no way to really tell. But starting off and making sure you're talking to an esthetician that's trained in Biologique is really important, because P50 is our cult. Like that is actually like one of our most important for everything else to work. But if you're not using the right formula, everything is going to mess up. And each season, you're going to find that you're going to need a different formula. So changing up is important. Like, even just to give a story on my own end, like I can use P50 1970, and I can also, like, I can use almost all the formulas except for regular P50. But right now in this cold winter, it's like frigid outside, and my skin can't even tolerate any P50 right now because my skin is so like fragile and dehydrated. So I feel like it is very important to listen to your skin as you do and incorporate actives. So that's like something just important to know, that sometimes you can't use P15. That's okay. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong or you're missing out on something. We need to focus on the health of the skin, and not so that you can use these actives and things like that.
Yes. So I'm getting a question about, so you guys, again, everybody's skin is individual. And I had to go through not finding the right formula per se, but right now in the mornings, I use the lotion P50 Pigum 400 for hyperpigmentation. And then I didn't bring it in here, but then I love lotion P50V. And when I switched to the V version, like, oh, my skin just totally transformed. I just love it. And I do love the 1970 version too, but BISMA has gotten me to switch it up a little bit. But the V version, I'm 52. I have dry, mature skin. And again, this isn't going to be, but if they're just kind of asking, I'm just saying for me, when I got on the right formula, it was a game changer, and I literally like love it. So I will use the Pigum 400 in the morning. And this is off my little BISMA's recommendation. So again, you guys, reaching out to BISMA is going to be your best bet. But you know, that to kind of figure out what's going to be perfect for you. But because they have so many, I just would say caution, like don't directly go to lotion P50. The original, I don't think is, you know, you want the gentler, or you could say, I just feel like that, like you guys,
you don't want to talk to an expert, and you don't want to go that route, and you just want to do things on your own. Because there's some people who are like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I want to just do my own thing. I would not recommend that really, because Biologique is such a dense line. Like even for us in training, like just to give a preface, like usually most product trainings last a day, maybe like a few hours. Biologique's training, not exaggerating, was like 8 to 5 for like over a week, like like 8 to 9 days of just training every single day. So just think about that. And on top of that, we have to go through like an online academy to go through it. Like I put it, like there's hours that you put in just to learn and understand each product and what it's meant to do. So at the end of the day, it is really best. And even the founders have really tried to make it so that you talk to your expert about it. And this is how I kind of think of it, is like when you go to a doctor's office or when you go to a physician who is an expert and you're going to have them diagnose a specific issue within your body, they're going to give you a prescription, and you're going to follow it how they tell you. And I think of Biologique as like a prescription product, and it's something that you need to have a constant communication with your esthetician. And as products run out, you need to have a constant communication with your esthetician and be like, hey, things are running out. Do I need this again? This is how my skin's feeling. Because there's always different things that come up in life. Sometimes you're more stressed. Sometimes you're not getting enough sleep. How do I combat the issues that are coming up on my skin, or hormonal things that happen? But if you're going to do your own thing, I would start off with like the Pigum or the W, just because it's a lot gentler. I would never go straight to P50 or P50 1970. It's just not, especially if you're not used to using actives. And especially for people who have been using retinols, and especially prescription retinols, like do not like do not use, like just because you've been using a retinol doesn't mean your skin's primed for P50. P50 is in its own ball game. Like it's a whole different ballpark. So I feel like it is so active that you really need to get your skin acclimated to those like beautiful raw ingredients. Because sometimes the delivery system of that is like, whoa, like your skin will be like, hold up, this is too much. So give your skin a break, give it some love. It's gonna be okay. We'll get you there.
Okay, another quick question that's coming up is people already wondering how to contact you and how to order BR products. I thought if you want to say the best way, and then we have another very important question that I'm going to get to. So, but do you want to mention, you're going to get bombarded? um,
So, for me to contact me, there's two ways. Best way to contact me is honestly my Instagram DMs. My Instagram is The Daily Skin Formative, and you can send me a DM, shoot me a DM, and I will answer you. I promise I'll get to you. And we'll set up an email consultation. My consultations are complimentary. And so you just have to fill out a questionnaire so that I can get to know you and your skin better, and then I'll help you. A very super direct way is also just emailing me directly. And my email is BISMA, BISMA, the letter R, at Artisan, ARTISAN, and then Beauty, BEAUTE.com. And I can also answer your emails or questions that way, that we can set something up. So I'm excited. That's how you can reach me. And then I can say this again at the end too, or we can write this down so that people can.
Right. I'll put that down, but I just wanted, so you guys, one thing is she's amazing at creating a custom routine, because I often get a lot of questions about BR, and, and I always feel bad because I've gone through my own kind of like trying to buy things on my own, which were not really appropriate for my skin. And it wasn't until I actually went and got a facial at a Biologique Recherche. I don't live by any place that sells it here locally. So another reason I need to be moving to Atlanta so we can live next door to share perfume.
But there's perfume collections, and then also
but she really works with your budget. Like, it is an extensive brand. It's very overwhelming. But I have to say the most transformative. And she's also helped my daughter, who was going through really bad breakout, which leads to really horrible low confidence. Like I've been there. I had cystic acne, those kind of things. And, she's like, we're just going to keep it simple, create a little routine for her, and her skin looks so good, Bisma. You're going to be like, and she's kept with it. She's a teenager, or, I guess now she's 18, but, so I just have to say, honestly, you're amazing. Okay. So a really important question, and I had trouble with this too. So I was always someone who I have used SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic for decades. Okay. So my C in the morning and retinol in the evening. And we'd love to address, because some people, it's hard, like, again, with Bisma, she listens to you. Like, I was like, I don't know if I can give my vitamin C up, like what? So people want to know, is there something specific in the Biologique Recherche line that would kind of be the C and the retinol products, or do we just recommend, for me, you guys, retinol's always made my face a little fussy and stuff. So that was easy for me to kind of say,
no,
not, yeah. But for the CE Ferulic, that was very anyway, so that's a big one that I'm getting questions about. And I think even for myself, because we've all been trained C and A, got to have that in the thing. And I would think that there's a little misnomer that there is some of those ingredients in some of these products, but you go ahead, address, please.
So there's like two schools of thought. This is the way I explain it. It's like there's two schools of thought. One is like the traditional, very dermatology, very medical realms route, which is like traditional in the sense that you use a C in the morning, use a retinol at night. This is the best way to stimulate that collagen and elastin. Research shows, blah, blah, blah. So that's like one school of thought. The other school of thought is not really ever addressed because it's kind of a biologique school of thought, to be quite honest with you. Created in the 1970s, right around when retinol was kind of established as well, but it didn't have that hype behind it as retinol and C do. That is the acids route. So going and using a complementary combination of acids to make sure that it's like alpha hydroxy, beta hydroxy, and polyhydroxy acids to exfoliate and stimulate that collagen and elastin production, give you that form of exfoliation, smoothness, brightness that retinol does, just without the aggravating quality of retinol, that irritation that comes with it. I personally have explored both, and I see patients with both. And from my experience and just honestly seeing quality of skin, and I'm not just saying like people who've used it short term, I'm saying people who've used it for decades, seeing their skin quality using acids as compared to the people who use retinol, vitamin C, is significantly different. Like the glow for acid users is like their skin is the most beautiful, glowing, to the moon radiant that I've ever seen in my life. And then usually the retinol users and the vitamin C users, their skin just doesn't have that like same quality to it. So you don't want to cross these two avenues. I'm not saying that retinol and vitamin C is a bad route. Some people really need that. That's what works for them. And acids and things like that work for them too. In Biologique Recherche, their products already have vitamin C in them. So you don't need a single vitamin C or anything with L-ascorbic acid to make it work. There are other vitamin Cs that have like THD or like things that are a little bit more like absorb better into the skin, like the Truth Treatments one. That one's really amazing for, and that one complements Biologique to an extent, but you want to be careful at using all these actives together. You don't want to do that. If you're using acids that already have all these amazing ingredients and qualities to them, why do you need another retinol? Why? Like, there's no reason for it. You're just destroying the skin at that point. So Biologique, like the retinol alternative, is an acid. That's what takes the place of it. And then vitamin C, their products already have vitamin C in them, so you don't really need an external one. Some products do, some products don't, but vitamin C is an essential nutrient. But I always say, like, we also have a thing called food. And so with food, you can also in your vitamin C. And I mean, there's so many beautiful nutrients that you can take in that are also stimulating your collagen and elastin from the inside. So it's not just topical. I think people are so obsessed with this idea. But the thing is, it's like you don't want to look for just single ingredients. You want to look at formula, see how the performance is, the research is. It's beyond just, oh, it doesn't have this ingredient, so I don't want to use it. It's not like that. It's so much more than that. It's a combination. It's layering. It's a whole like performance basically to your routine. Also that noticed also is like, I think there was a question that was like, do I just use, some people just say you need to use P50 like once or twice a week. P50 was actually, it's intended to be used morning and night once your skin has gotten to that point. So that's what's different about it from a retinol. Retinol, you just use a few nights a week. Only like, you know, and it's, you use it based on like tiny amount, like that type of stuff, right? With the P50, its intention is balancing the pH of your skin. So beyond just being an exfoliator, it's balancing your pH, allowing the other products on top penetrate deeper, get absorbed into your skin, and it's beautiful. So I would recommend you to use and encourage you to use P50 with your favorite formula in the morning and the evening, and use it. Like there's some people, like with Abby, she's using a gentler formula in the morning, a stronger formula at night. There's totally a way to make it, pair it together. And there's also a way to make retinol work for you when you're using P50, but you have to have a very, very certain skin to make that work. So that's just kind of to allude, like, and obviously we'll talk about it, like with each person, we can discuss it more, but try to use P50s morning and night and balance your skin while your other products work better.
I do have one funny story. So when I had gone to get a facial at a Biologique Recherche spa, I was recommended Environ retinol.
Yeah.
And I had done a follow-up skincare video for YouTube. And I had a woman so upset, like she was going to contact Biologique Recherche headquarters because I was using a retinol with, you know, but I was actually prescribed that from somebody, you know, there, but they were saying if you use that retinol that night, you know, don't use the P50, you know. Anyways, it was just a funny thing because she was just so angry and was going to report, I was like, well, I'm not trying to be upsetting to anybody, but I will tell you.
Sticklers, like it is like in the Biologique world, it's like you do not use retinol and P50 together. Like you just don't do that. And you'll find that too. But some spas, they do. And my only recommendation is just be very, think about it and go with what your heart tells you and who you want your recommendations from. It's never a bad idea to get multiple, but be smart and think your skin is an organ. You don't want to overdo it. Like, I just don't believe in overdoing it. It's just, there's no.
And since I met you, like, because this is someone I was out of town, I was going to only see them that one time. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I would recommend if you have like BISMA. She's so good at reining me in because I love, I'm a junkie and I'm like, ooh, and she's like, no, you're going to finish this first. And then, and so I really learned to listen to my skin, and that's because of BISMA. And I don't use a retinol, you guys, right now, like, because all these years, I finally just let it go that it isn't for me, that this just works better. And it's just funny though, because I had to let go of a lot of preconceived notions that I had. And I just always find that, just having somebody to guide, and we get it that this is a hard, this brand is definitely overwhelming, but it is also so effective. And I think that there's also ways, like when I first started, someone was asking my top 3 products that I love, and switching to a creamy cleanser, like not stripping my skin, no foam, like just simply, really, I've always been someone who loves I've always loved cleaning my face, but like switching to a creamy cleanser that did not strip my face at all was huge. Like within the week, you guys, I saw dramatic change. Then just the right formula of P50 was amazing. And then I'm someone who cannot live without the mask for necks. And so these are like my non-negotiable, like have to always have them in my arsenal. And so, I started very simply. And then, of course, being the junkie that I am, I have
It's fine. And that's also what I want to say is like these products can get pretty pricey. Having a budget in mind per month is totally doable. No one is expecting you to drop hella cash and have a whole routine. And also, in my personal opinion, I don't really think that the skin, if you're used to a specific line or way of doing things, to just suddenly jump in and start using all these products, and then your skin's going to freak out a little bit. Like you need to kind of take baby steps and allow your skin to get used to and acclimated to a whole new philosophy, especially when you're used to a whole different philosophy. I will also say this, just to reiterate, me personally, I will never, very, 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 very rarely will you find me recommend anyone using a retinol. Yeah. Because I know P50 works so well. You do not want to use these together. Biologique recommends, that's like a major no-no, but even in term, when you're looking at the skin physiology and you're looking at the science behind it, there's really no need to be doing both of them. So I just kind of let that know. If you want to try P50, I'm not going to give P50 to you if you're using retinol. That's just something to keep in mind. I'm actually going to be very strict about that. So I'm just not going to, if you're going to purchase it, that's on your end. But for me, my end, I'm not going to do that. We're going to have to stop the retinol, let your skin heal a little bit, and then we'll get you in the P50 world. I think there was a question here from my lovely Janice.
Yes.
Yeah. I am not using P50 at the moment because my skin is very sensitized by this very frigid cold that I'm experiencing. It's very random. I mean, literally, I'm telling you, I was using the strongest P50, no problems. And then suddenly my skin's like, absolutely not. So even the Pegum is too much for me at this moment. But Biologique has amazing products that are not in the P50 family, but they're also pH balancers. So 2 of the products are the Eau Micellar Biosensible and the L'Oxygenaut spray.
I was going to say, I love that so much.
So the Biosensibile is interesting because it is both a micellar, but it's also a gentle, nourishing, hydrating toner in a way. It's very versatile in its performance. So that one is something that I use as kind of like an essence in a way because it is very hydrating, pumping, very soothing to the skin. And then L'Oxygenant is a beautiful spray filled with beautiful antioxidants, oxygenating complexes, and it has a little bit of vitamin C in there, a little bit of vitamin A in there. So they're not against that. It's just you have to use it smartly. So I've been using that morning and night to balance my pH, and that's my form of mini exfoliation. It's very gentle, but it's not really, just to help balance the pH and allow my products to go on deeper. Even diluting it sometimes can be a little too much, but that is my current thing for the winter time. And I'm just healing right now. I'm just letting my skin heal and stay hydrated. So
look gorgeous. You're glowing over there, Lovey.
I had a fun routine to prep for this last night. So I'm really excited about that.
She also got me, can you say the proper word, the mist one? I always, yeah. That's how she got me. Like, you know, I'm not using a C right now after decades of using it, but she was like, it has a little touch of C and A in it, and you missed it on. And you guys, it's number one, like one of the best. Yeah, it's really amazing. But I just have found that once I just completely trusted but that was one somebody was saying, it was like, well, if you don't use that, and she was like, it has it in there, it's just not as like, you know, whatever the 15% or any of those kind of things. So I think that there's you know, that one's a beautiful way to
definitely. And I think what I love about it too is that it's versatile because you can use it as a toner, but you can also use it as a makeup setting spray, as a refresher throughout the day. Like it's something that you can just keep in your arsenal. Like I have one in my bag, in my car. Like there's I have it in multiple areas because it's like, oh, I need, and like if you get your hair, like if you get like as women and men or like any gender, like if you're getting your like upper lip threaded or like threading in your eyebrows or things or waxed and things like that, the post care on that is very interesting. I don't think people talk about this actually, but it is, you want to make sure that I don't really let them touch my face beyond that. I'm like, if I'm getting anything threaded, I'm like, don't touch my face after this, don't put anything on, I'm taking care of my skin after. L'Oxygen on afterward is like boom, inflammation's gone, no bacteria, no breakouts. Because most people, after they get waxed or you have any sort of hair removal on their face especially, they'll have a reaction or a rash or breakouts or things like that. But making sure that you're healing the skin, but also preventing those breakouts from coming, especially on raw skin, L'Oxygen is perfect for that, just to keep as a refresher, especially if you're traveling too. That one's like my favorite to keep.
So good, so good. Do you see any, there's one about dedicated eye cream for the eye contour. Is there a good starter product for the eye area?
Yeah, I would say my favorite eye cream from Biologique is the Biofixine Eye Cream. That one is amazing because it is, and that's something that I feel like most everyone at any age can use it. It's very plumping to the eye contour for the wrinkles and just preventing, but also you can use it around the lips. So it's really amazing because it's for both the lip and eye contour to help with wrinkles, fine lines, and things like that. But my personal opinion is like, this is just me. This is like me as a personal human being, my own personal esthetician. I feel like with eye creams, you can kind of have fun. You don't have to stay on brand. But in Biologique world, the Biofixine is my personal favorite. We have 3. One is for sensitive eyes. It's really like gel-like. The other is for brightening. So it's the VIPO2, which is really great for brightening the under eyes. And then the Biofixine, which is for like wrinkles and fine lines, preventative, and also just, you know, that stuff. So that one's fun. I love them. I use the Biofixine myself and I love it. It's my personal favorite. I don't know if I've given that to you, Abby.
I know. I that's the, I was gonna say after this I'll be placing my order. But yes, I love that. Okay, wait, there was a question I thought we should address too about, because since you've helped my daughter with acne, but there's some misnomers about that because my daughter actually has dry or dehydrated skin. And a lot of acne stuff can be very drying. And so they were just saying if there's products, I don't know if there's, again, that's what I'm saying. It's not generalized. You'd have to touch base with somebody, but they're acne. I always hear about Derma Purifont, but you did not give that to my daughter. Like that, that was not for her. I almost just ordered that, like, oh, that's sort of for acne skin. And that's where you were like, no. So I just wanted to, there's a couple questions about dealing with that.
So one thing that I've noticed in my own personal journey, like, because Biologique is not how I was using Biologique before I became an esthetician, just to kind of give a preface on that. So I have like personal, very raw opinions about it. I'm not just trying to sell. Let's just make that very clear. I'm not just trying to sell. I literally will tell you if I like it or not. Honestly, 99% of things I genuinely do like, but Derma Purifont is one of those creams that it works for some people and then it doesn't work for some people. I've tried Derma Purifont multiple times in like about 3 different formulation changes. So right now we have a different formulation change. It's a lot dreamier. It's a lot more effective. But I find that it does not work that well for people who have dry, dehydrated hormonal acne. For some people it does, but for some people it will make you purge and you're just constantly purging for so long that it just doesn't. And it's just kind of, you're in this weird lull. And the reason is because with hormonal acne, you have to think like it's starting with your hormones, it's internal. So you really have to tackle that, something that I've had to learn the very hard way. Derma Purifont is good for some people, and I honestly think it's really good for the people that are very like oily and balanced and they just want a good matte finish or satin finish. So it's really good for those type of people who are very unbalanced in terms of their oil, sebum production, things like that. Now, if you're dehydrated or surface dry, or you're feeling tight after you cleanse, or even tight, just if you leave your skin with nothing on it and your skin feels tight or just not so comfortable, Derma Purifont's not for you. And there's totally other ways to tackle that, and that's usually using like a good combination of masking, using your proper appropriate P50, cleansing really well. I don't think people cleanse long enough. People are really hasty in their cleanse, but you need to really make sure you're taking that time to clean your skin and take that time to prepare that slate for the beautiful products putting on. Like, one of my favorite analogies I give to a lot of my patients is I compare Biologique products like a beautiful filet mignon. Like, it's like, oh, we've seasoned her right, she's right. But if you put this beautiful filet mignon on this like unclean cast iron, you're doing an injustice to that filet mignon. But when you have a perfectly seasoned cast iron ready for this beautifully seasoned filet mignon, like, your product, it's going to be beautiful. You're going to get a beautiful sear. And that's how it is with products. Like, you need to make sure that your skin's clean. And same with especially with acne skin, is really focusing on hydrating. And honestly, once you hydrate your skin, some people may find that the acne may go away, because a lot of it, because it's so dehydrated that the surface is dry. It's like a desert. And all this oil and bacteria and dead skin is like accumulating underneath. There's nowhere for it to go. So they're interacting with each other, and then they create an inflammatory response. So once you hydrate those top layers and really focus on massaging the skin with hydrating complexes, that's important. Getting facials. I know right now with COVID, everyone's on a different page about it, but getting facials is really important. Be very careful with the home tools that you use at home. A lot of people want to do like those like PMD, microdermabrasion, things like that at home. And I'm just like, you're not a professional. You're going to damage your skin more than you're going to actually help it. So getting a good facial, like a good hydrofacial, even a Biologique facial, can really help to calm and soothe the skin. Icing your skin, like the cryo sticks, are fantastic for reducing inflammation, and especially with acne skin, just keeping it very simple, especially if you have acne. The less you do, the better for your skin, because your skin's already confused and going through a lot. So you just need to focus on heal that barrier, and just reel it in. I'm always like, reel it in, calm down.
You guys, she taught me. I have really, like, I cannot do a lot of treatments, and I'm going to come and see BISMA and get a facial, but I just have not But she got me into the art of masking. And that's a big BR protocol.
Mhm.
And then the sticks, the ice, and just some of these simple things. And then I will do this like when my daughter had the horrible
Breakout.
breakout.
Mhm.
I would sit her down. I got to be her little when you see your daughter feeling, we've all been there, and I would do the little cleanser skin and then do that, and I could actually see the inflammation. I could see it. And then for next, oh my gosh, on acne, you guys, like my daughter,
Mhm.
she's like, I've created a monster because now that she's going off to college, she's like laughing. She's like, well,
I need
gonna.
this.
But whenever like that product is a miracle for her kind of skin. But I just have to say, so you can totally transformed her acne and her skin. I'll have to take a picture, you guys. It's what I call like the BR skin. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, sweetie, we're getting you in young. You're gonna be good. But thank you for addressing. I think one thing is she doesn't have oily skin.
And the thing is, and this is also a thing, is like when you have acne, you have oily skin underneath, but it's different because everyone projects it differently. So usually very acne, cystic acne, those situations, you would categorize them as being super oily, which they are. Some of them are. But a lot of it is like, especially the hormonal ones are internal, and sometimes you can be surface dry. So that's why you really have to be careful with who you're going to for your expert advice, and even in the Biologique realms, because honestly, and you're going to see this a lot, because even on social media, you see it often, is you need to use P50 1970, Levier PO2, complex cerebiol and placenta, dermaperipheon and placenta. You're going to hear those words a lot. Yeah. And the thing is, it's that's not a one size fits all situation. Yes, a lot of people it benefits, but it could be completely wrong for you, and that's a waste of money, because with Biologique, you can't return it. So once you have it, you can't return it. So you have to be very wise with your money. So I'm always telling
I've learned the hard way, guys. That's what I'm saying. You gotta go to the expert. And I think finding people are asking a little bit about, we can touch on, but finding the serums, and then the finishing. There are a little bit of questions about, because that was where I was like, and the only thing I will tell you that I have learned from you is that when they are talking about what it does what it says. But a lot of times we don't know what our skin is exactly do. You know what I mean? Like if it says like colostrum, I have to live with, I have to have, because it's for hydration and I just love it. And it says what it does. But I didn't know, again, we're sometimes assessing what your skin needs. I'm learning now, but any of those kind of, because my daughter uses placenta for her serum, and that was it's amazing. So,
and one thing that I think Nicole asked really good question, because it's about the serums too, is like, if you're not using P50, are the masks and serums and things like that effective? Of course, I would say yes, they are for sure. What matters is your pH is balanced. So that's the most important step to it. You've cleansed your face with a pH-friendly cleanser. You've balanced your pH with something that is balancing your pH, and then allowing your skin to penetrate the beautiful products. One thing with the serums is that order matters. Quantity matters, how much you're using, what you're using, how you're layering them. There's an art to it. And that's something, it's beautiful, but then also complicated, because the beautiful part of it is that you can use you can be as creative as you want to be with Biologique. It can be as very creative in that sense. You'll start to learn and play and want to cocktail things. It's fun. But you also want to make sure that what are you doing? Is it strategic? Is there anything behind everything that you're using? I would not exceed more than 4 serums max. Alternating and displaying. If someone is something that I've found is a lot of estheticians are really pushing a lot of product on people. And the thing is, it's really overwhelming for most people. And even with masking, you want to make sure you're using the correct mask for you. Everyone talks about Vivant, and they're like, Vivant. Please make sure that it's right for you, because it's very mask. Like, and that even happened with Abby's daughter. Like, she had a bad reaction with using De Taunt.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it is not for everybody. But if you read a magazine article, like again, that was one that I just bought because it was in a magazine, and I'm sure all of you guys can relate. We read it, we're like, "Ooh," you know, and I think, yeah, because this
I need it.
actually, because it was sold out, I wanted it even more.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, that's my craziness, but yeah, then I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be my miracle."
I need four backups. And I'm sitting here like, no, Biologique has beautiful masks and there's different combinations. Masking frequently is important, especially while we're all trying to stay away from being outdoors as much. Masking is important in doing that frequently. There's so many serums, but each one is meant for specific skin. So definitely talking to people. Each one has a different, honestly, like even looking at it from a consumer's point of view, even on websites, I'm just like, I don't even know if this is right for me. Like me, when I was thinking like years ago, now obviously I know. But the thing is, it's like, it's really hard to educate people on that, because the thing is, you guys aren't like, as much as we want to educate you, it's the reason is why the consumer isn't educated as much on these products in terms of like everything about it, is that it's not a self-service type of situation. You want to have that conversation with a professional. Finishing serums are the love of my life. It's very unique to Biologique Recherche. It is so beautiful because the formulation is totally different. You apply a finishing serum on top of your face cream, which is like, everyone's gonna be like, wait, what? This is so weird. But the thing is, it is sealing everything in like a cocoony shield type of situation. So it's packed with antioxidants. It's got different molecular weights of hyaluronic acid. It's got beautiful plumping, anti-aging, or hydrating, just depending on which ones. There's different types at different strengths and different needs. But the glow that a finishing gives you, that is the Biologique glow that people talk about. It's like that and P50, the combination. It's like the kind of like the start to finish, everything is like, wow, that is bomb. But it literally gives your skin just the most beautiful glow, but it's also benefiting your skin, because everyone is so like, oh, is it just going to sit on top of my skin? Like, is it actually going in? And that's something that people talk about often too. And it's like, the skin is 5 layers. You want to make sure you're getting all of them, but there's some things you don't want all the way down to the deepest layer, because it's not meant for that, and the most important layer, in my personal opinion, is that top layer, because that's what's affected by all the environmental aggressors, all the pollutants, even the viruses and things like that. That's what sits on top of our skin. And if our top barrier is not hydrated, protected, fed properly, even protected and having that shield on top, you're going to start to see a lot of issues come up in your skin. So we want to make sure it's not just going, I want it to go deep, I want it to penetrate deeper. Like that verbiage is not what we need to always use. You need to address all layers, focus on all layers, and feed it. The finishing serum allows you to do that. So it's getting at different layers in the skin, but it's also giving you that glow, that plumpness, that radiance, and it really does elevate your skincare routine. Like, I can't be without a finishing serum. It has completely changed my perspective.
And I did it, you guys, I started and I've grown into things like that. Like if people are feeling overwhelmed with the protocol, I totally get it. But once I added in the finishing serum, I was like, oh my gosh, like, the glow maker, as you guys know, I of course makeup helps, but but I do have to say that was like one of those. But I guess I'm just going back to like, I did kind of grow into this, and once you get into what's working for you, you can add on, and it's a brand for us junkies that you can completely have. There's plenty of play in it. So.
And even each season, you'll be playing with something different, trying something different. Like, there's so many creams from Biologique that, like, you're using something completely, like, in the summer, you're using something completely different as compared to in the winter. Like, and I think Abby's going through that right now, too. And she's like, I want to try something new, but I can't because it's winter. And it's just like, yeah, because this is the best cream for you.
She's so funny, you guys. I'm the worst because I'm like, oh gosh, I've never tried this cream. Like I was like, oh, when I already kind of know what works for me, but I just get that tinkering. But again, that's what I'm saying. She reins me in. Like she's good about that, and she's not gonna let you. She's not about let me just sell you a bunch of stuff because a lot of times I'm someone who I personally buy something every month to kind of keep my
Yeah.
balance it all out. I don't do it all at once or, but I've got a routine of stuff, but I laugh because I'm like, oh, I'm having that itch. And she'll rein you in. But anyway, I just have to say, I think you're going to be bombarded after this. There is a good question over here that I think is true that people, how impossible to get BR facials. Like if they can't do that, how important is the products? And I think for myself here, I can't go get a Biologique Recherche facial where I personally live. And so I really do uh, lean on the products and masking. And, you've taught me a lot of techniques to do at home. And then one day when I come visit you, we're going to have the best time ever. But
it's going to be a 2-hour facial, just letting you know. We're going to give you the whole works, the works. This is actually a really good question. Budget-wise, not all Biologique facials are super expensive because some people think they're like $400 or $500. They're not. You want to just, in terms of budget too, obviously not everyone can get a facial monthly. That's also something to think about. In my personal opinion, and this is what I tell people all the time too, it's kind of like comparing it going to the gym. And like getting a trainer, right? So if you can get the trainer, obviously they'll push you that extra limit. But going every day by yourself and doing your own thing, that's the most important, that consistency. So at-home products are the best thing ever, in my personal opinion. If you're going to put your money on one or the other, I would do the products at home because you're only coming to see me once a month, maybe once or twice a month for an hour or two. You have these products at home and you're doing this routine morning and night. So just to show you, like, that consistency will really change the skin. Coming in for treatment, I think it is really important just to have a really good deep clean and just to make sure we're on the right track if you want to see the best results. But I have patients all over the world in the best way possible. It's a huge blessing. But some of them I haven't even touched their face. But because they're using at-home products morning and night, and they're consistent and they're masking frequently, they're using devices like NuFace or the Zip. Like Zip is my baby, they're both microcurrent devices. We have the Zip at the spa and I use it. I used it last night. It's the best thing on the planet. Everyone knows it. But I'm like, Abby has it too, but she just doesn't use it. But using at-home devices, cryo sticks, sheet masking, like, that's also in a way very beneficial in feeding your skin, and just doing lots of massage like at home to really like encourage that lymph drainage and really like work the facial muscles, and just taking time to give love to your skin. And it doesn't have to be like an hour ordeal. Like even every day while you're cleansing, spending that extra minute to like massage your skin, bring blood to the skin is really amazing. So I feel like just being very consistent and using the correct products for you will take your skin a whole another level for sure. Sorry, continue.
Oh no, I was just going to reiterate that, I just started with 3 simple kind of products, and then like within a week, my skin, like literally within that week. Now this was rosacea, like I could literally see the transformation, and it didn't completely clear up. I had to do some internal, like when you were talking about our skin's our organ, I needed to clean up my diet and do stuff like that. But it was one of those where I had like I also taking things back and being simple, because one person just talked about, because I had bought a few serums without any advice from people, and they were way too active for my skin, and they were saying all of them make them break out. And again, that was like I was like, oh gosh, I don't not like, these are just because these are active products. And I think that would be another thing to kind of, if you want to
And also, it's also like if you're using the wrong formula or if you're using things that are too active, you're probably going to break out because that's your skin's way of, it's like an inflammatory response. Also, you want to think like P50 is kind of like retinol in the sense it's purifying. Things that are purifying are going to bring things to the surface, and it's normal. Give your skin time. I think it's very in an American like philosophy that you want things to work like this. Like if I don't see results in 2 seconds, like, or in a week or 2 weeks, like this product's not working for me. It's not for me. But that's not how the skin works. Like the skin itself regenerates every 25 to 28, sometimes even 30 days. So you really need to give your skin about 3 to 4 months to really see true change in the skin being consistent. These are active products. You want to be very careful with what you're using, how you're interacting them, like what you're playing with. And even with the moisturizers, there's so many moisturizers, but when you're using the perfect one for you, it will be heaven sent. But if you're just mixing, trying, doing whatever, using it incorrectly, not using enough, or just trying a million things at once, your skin's going to freak out. You're not letting it take in what it needs to take in from that product. So like I always say, like, relax, you'll get there. It's going to be okay. Like we're going to like allow your skin to receive what you're putting on. Don't shock her or overwhelm her. Like she's cute on her own. Like we're just enhancing her function, not completely like changing up the way that she's working. She has a mind of her own. So you have to just implement that, understand her, and then she'll respond the way you want her to. So that's just how I like to think of it. Sherry had a really good question that I really want to talk about. Is people using that Vivant challenge. So I actually like it really like hurts my heart when I see people doing it. So I sit there and I'm just like, oh God, this is the most active mask from Biologique. It is like your skin just, and then on top of that, those challenge, they tell you to use P50 1970 with it. And I'm sitting here, very, very, very small population in this world can actually like do something like that. Some estheticians, if your skin is really unbalanced, like very oily, acneic, and things like that, and you're using Vivant, like they'll tell you to use it for a couple of days straight just to get your skin on track. But to do that for every single day for 2 weeks, girl, that's too much. Like, oh, that's too much. So your skin's gonna be fried. Like I remember when I first started out and I did that challenge, and after day 3, my skin I was sitting there like, how do people? And even my mom was just like, are you okay? And I was just like, she goes, you've done that mask like 4 or 5 times. Like that's not normal. And my mom's not even an esthetician, but she is like a beauty guru in her own way. And she was just like, you need to let the skin breathe. Like, why are you like, I mean, breathe in the sense like, let it heal. She goes, you're not even giving it a chance to like recover from this mask. And now you're just feeding it more and more. So you want to be strategic. Vivant only used 2 times a week. That's it. There are plenty of other masks that you can use every single day for 14 days, I guess. Vernix being one of them. You could technically use that every day, and that's fine. You don't need Vivant to be doing that. Just let that be your purifying mask and keep it moving. Like you don't need it for 14 days. It's not necessary.
Such an active mask. I call it the doo-doo mask because it doesn't. But it's too. She's seen the aftermath of it. Too active on my daughter. Like the aftermath of this was like pretty, like literally, like wow. So just again, active.
And some people like Vivant is like heaven sent, right? Like it'll be like, oh my God,
yes,
amazing after. But the thing is, this is not the case for everyone. So like products react differently when you need to go based on what your skin needs, not what you want to give your skin. So that's like something that I think is important to talk about in that sense, is be careful.
Be careful.
And then maybe like, I don't know if anyone else is, oh my God, Dermatic is here. Hi, Abdullah. I love him. And he's so funny. I don't know if you follow him, Abby, but he's literally like the best.
I loved how he's like, I just slathered on.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta slather on these cocktails. He's so funny. For facial massage, let's see. The question is good. On facial massage, at what point should I do that? And what point okay. So my favorite part to do facial massage is with my cleanser. So I like to do it in the mornings and in the evenings. In the mornings, I'm not going to be as intensive as in the evening, but that's just because I wear a face mask all day. So like after I wear a face mask all day, I really want to give my skin love and oxygen. In the morning, use your I use my cleanser as my facial massage. With the milky cleanser, you have the perfect amount of slip. So you can really like do beautiful movements on your skin to help drain and like really go in upwards motions, really focusing on massaging and like using different parts of your hands. Like there's your knuckle that you can use to drain. You can use your like, I like to use my pointer knuckles like to help drain and lift. Holding your skin taut and just draining and lifting upwards, really using it to drain and release some tension. Even around the eyes, I mean, I feel like God has given us great fingers to help drain. So, I mean, our hands are our best tools. Or you can use, of course, Biologique has a mini glove that has a rounded side that can help with massage movements and things like that. And cryo sticks are amazing too.
We need to do that. We have to
cryo stick party.
Yeah, I think that would be a good one because I think people have asked. I don't know. That might they'll be for another time, but that's amazing.
I know that one is amazing. I don't know if anyone else has any questions. Let's see. Oh, Leo's here too. Let's see. One thing that. Yeah. Oh, Leo. That is very true. He does have a good point. Is that there's a lot of Biologique estheticians. Everyone has a different viewpoint. It's never a bad idea to get different opinions. Always support. This is my personal opinion. Is like support the esthetician that is referring those products or like recommending those products to you. In the sense that if you're gonna listen to them, follow them through the end. Don't just decide to hop unless it's not working for you, you know? Then obviously it's time to reevaluate and think. I've had to go through multiple estheticians that once I found out that I was really the best one for myself because I know my skin. Thankfully, I'm trained in it, so that's not everyone. But once you find someone that like really rides your vibe and really you think that has understood your skin, that's totally fine. And I know that sometimes I'm not the cup of tea for everyone. So some people are not going to like my philosophy and they'll choose someone else, and that's totally fine. There's like a bajillion of us out there, so there's more. Like everyone can, you will find your person. But once you found your soulmate esthetician, ride with them.
That's BISMA is the one, people.
One thing. But that's the one that you want to just make sure that you're not pushing yourself and you're not like you're using something that's thinking of your skin in mind and not just using a bajillion products because you want to use them. So.
And one thing I will tell you about BISMA, like because I'm 50, like I was just saying, if I've reached out and filled out a consult or, did a questionnaire and that came back to me, it was always like, I need the most expensive, like I was always kind of like, and I get it, I'm just filling it out on a piece of paper. Mm-hmm. But I was like, there's these huge amounts of, there's so many creams here at different variety of prices that it just sort of felt a little disingenuous. Like, you're 50 and you just need this, and I was like, okay. And so once I talked to her and, kind of said, well, yeah, but, and then again, I was kind of like, well, this one sounds good, or this one sounded good. And she was really able to narrow down, and you guys from afar. So I'm just going to tell you, we have actually, even though we're besties and talk,
we're right next to each other too. We're birthday buddies too.
Yeah, we're birthday buddies, but I did send her pictures of my skin without any makeup and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just saying from afar, I felt like I have found somebody who's, really taught me I totally believe this is about diet too, but believe, that you got to figure out what works for you, not one size. There's no one diet. I always tell people there'll be something new out there, the newest trend. And I'm always like, okay, well, I agree. I'm kind of checking it out, but it really is going to be about what works for you and your skin. And that there isn't like, we can't just say, here's 3 products here that, that's going to work for everybody. I would probably say and that, so finding your little person and kind of trusting yourself also, because I think I've learned to really say, oh, guess what? I don't retinol and I are never been good friends, and I can let that go. And hydration has just been the key internally and
Yeah.
externally, how it solved so many problems when I was properly not stripping my skin. It was a huge kind of game changer. So I was just going to say that's kind of another thing to be thinking about.
Yeah, hydration is, it's so interesting because people just think, because whenever I indicate to people like your skin's very dehydrated, and they're like, ugh, I know I should be drinking more water. And it's like, no, there's so much more than just drinking water. Like, yes, you need to drink, please drink water and let your body feed other things. But also there's a lot of external like things that affect hydration too. Cold weather, heat, humidity, like low humidity sometimes, even like coffees, caffeine, things you're drinking that can strip your skin of hydration. Sometimes it's even just hormonal issues, like as women enter menopause, and even sometimes with pregnancy, your skin things happen. Or even like diseases and cancers and things like that can completely strip your skin of hydration. So you want to just make sure and be very intuitive. And I think that's the great thing about Biologique, which just makes it so different from other brands, is that it forces you to be intuitive and kind of forces you to get to know yourself a little bit that sometimes people don't do. And I love that, because skincare should be your ritual. It's your time for yourself. It's the time you're most mindful of your skin and your body, and really like it should be a moment of de-stressing and reflecting. And once you allow those products, and should be part of that process and that routine, it's a like kind of lighting that beautiful candle, setting the mood, and then like layering these beautiful products and massaging and encouraging your skin. I know a lot of moms sometimes don't have time for that, you know? So just also, you don't need to have a 5 million step routine to see effectiveness. Like I can give you a 4 or 5 step routine and you'll still be good. Obviously, some concerns need more help, but you can totally make it happen. But even in those 5 minutes that some mothers can only get, make it your own and be present. And Biologique forces you to do that. So that way you're understanding and being cognizant of what the hell you're putting on your skin. Like, you don't want to just put on things just because. I really focus on educating my patients on what they're getting and why they're getting the things that they're getting. So
She's the bomb.com people. Do you want to answer? Do you want to do a few other items here? Or do you want to do our, we're getting to we're a little bit past an hour, so I don't want to keep everybody here forever. But since you
having a party right now.
What was that?
As everyone's having a party right now with us.
I know, I love it.
I know people have asked, I know there was this one question, is like, is there certain products, like, is there certain makeup that you can't use with Biologique? And honestly, Abby's a testament to that. She's always trying something new in makeup, and it's perfectly
not the best for my skin.
It's not. I mean, fine. I love makeup. I'm a makeup artist, and
that's what I was saying. She loves makeup and perfume too. So it's sort of been so like, you know, because there wasn't any. She knows that I was still gonna be wearing my makeup even when I'm doing my regime.
And I love makeup, and I think makeup is so fun, and it's an outlet that you need to have good skin to have makeup put on well and stuff like that. Just be cognizant of what you're using. There's not anything that I would say like don't use, but like Serum De Taunt, Biologique has come out with a tinted serum. It's not makeup, it's a tinted serum. But that's what I'm wearing today too. And I'm
too.
Yeah. It's easy, it's fun, but I also love my like foundations too, like my Pat McGrath. I love her, and like my Tom Ford bronzer, like things like that. Hourglass blush, like
she's one of us. That's why I was saying I was like worried she was going to be like, you can't do this and you know that, but and I also found
life
for
is
myself
just
that skin is repaired.
Yeah.
That I can wear certain things. I mean, they'll
clean your skin after you wear your makeup.
Yeah, no. And the cleansing, like you were just saying, taking a moment. I always talk about this too, but like I love putting makeup on clearly, but my favorite time is I love taking time every night. I've always loved regimes. You know, I laugh because way back in the day, I used like Erno Laszlo, and you have to do a certain amount of splashes, and then you know, I always loved this was when I was much younger, like, in my 20s, but there was all this splashing you had to do. And, then they had an oil. It was like kind of a, regime per se, but I've always loved that time to just sort of say, this is my little me time to take some moments and massage the skin and make sure everything's completely off. And so I just think of it, if you kind of can reframe your mind around taking care, and that it's actually like self-care, like not just about your skin or those, but it's this whole specialness, that it's amazing. So
I'm so excited.
This was Serum De Taunt. This is from this is one of their newer. Was this about a year now, or
released in February last year of 2020, and it is beautiful because it is a serum that is tinted. There are no silicones or anything like that in any of Biologique's products, along with no essential oils and things like that. The things that we do have essential oils are in their body oils, just so everyone knows. The Serum De Taunt is unique because it is a serum that has a tinted quality to it. The serum is really good at protecting the skin. This is a finishing serum. It's in their finishing serum category. But it's amazing because it is protecting your skin from pollution. It literally, like, the science is that it's literally creating a shield for your skin. Like, it's literally like shielding your skin from pollution, environmental damage, blue light from the sun, some of the radiation that comes from the sun as well. This is not a sunblock, just to let people know. But you can mix it with your sunscreen and create that level of protection. But it's really good as like an antioxidant, just feeding the skin with nutrients and protective qualities to it. So it's kind of like doing this type of motion on top of your skin, protecting it from all the other things that could come on your skin. And then it sits really beautifully. One thing I will say, that sometimes it does pill. This is just me being completely.
I never had that happen to me.
I'm glad. Like, sometimes for me it happens, and I think it really depends on what you're using underneath. So if you're using,
no, it was just people had asked me, like they've been like, does it pill? Like they're telling me about it, but I've never had that happen, and I was just curious. They were worried they got a bad bottle or something.
Now, you have to make sure you're shaking it really well. So once you shake it really well and you put a pump out, I really like mixing it with one of the finishing serums, the liquidy ones, or mixing it with a sunscreen to create a little cocktail and then putting it on your skin. And then usually it's fine. I've never had that, but if I use like a gel, moisturizing pumper, yeah,
that's my.
Yes, we love her. So that's what I like to do. But Serum De Taunt is fun. It's really lightweight. It gives you some coverage, but don't expect a full coverage. It's right around, I would say, like a light to medium coverage for sure.
Yeah.
Visible, but not so much. Like, I still put on a little foundation after if I want
to. Okay, so then I was, since we are both perfume junkies, we were gonna share. What did we decide upon?
Okay, we can share. Do you want to share your like all-time and then maybe your seasonal favorites right now?
Oh, there you go. Hi. Okay, so yes, she also is a fellow. You guys, I don't know if we're good for each other. Do you think we are? I mean, I think my skin is
each other things that we wouldn't try otherwise. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So yes, we have that in common. And then I would love for you. BISMA has an amazing candle collection. Like, you guys, she's just like truly has the most beautiful aesthetic. If you go on her Instagram account, number one, you're going to see all these great Biologique Recherche she really shares a lot of great content on her Instagram. Like, you have a lot of cocktail, like I just love, and your whole beautiful aesthetic of it. So it is the Skin Informative. The Daily Skin Informative. I'm going to leave everything below in the how to get in contact with her. But it's amazing. And she also shares some of her little candles. Oh, good. Thank you. Someone posted it for us.
Yeah.
So if you want to share yours, because you've gotten me onto those as well.
So I'm going to share I would say the top, I have four brands that I'm kind of like obsessed with right now. My all-time favorite is Trudon, Cere Trudon. They were created in like the 1600s in Paris, France, like for the kings and queens, you know, like the monarchy, right? So this is like the epitome of luxury in my personal opinion, because these are not cheap candles. They're very expensive, but they're truly an experience. Like it is divine. So this is like, I guess packaging wise, this is kind of what it looks like. It's just like when you see it sitting, it's just like, wow, what is that? This one is their holiday collection from last year. This one's Nazareth. Smells like cinnamon. It literally smells like just cinnamon and like coziness. And when it burns, like it burns really beautifully, but like it kind of, you can see it burns very clean.
Yes.
And the best, like, don't you dare throw this away. But no. This is beautiful. Leo already knows I have my alabaster, like he knows. This is their limited edition alabaster. This is how junky I am. Honestly, I'm crazy. And where
I'm loving showing that you're the fellow junkie.
I'm crazy, but like automatically, like even opening this box, I can automatically smell it. It's amazing. And it's not overwhelming. That's what I like about these candles, is like the candles you use really do affect your mental health. That's something that people don't realize, is that the quality of the essential oil and the layers, and that's with even with perfume, it really does affect your mental health. So this is my beautiful alabaster.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
It's really just, I mean, it's a work of art, and that's the reason.
It is a work of art.
I mean, the craftsmanship is just beautiful, and that's why I buy these candles, is that it's thought and craftsmanship put into it. So that's something I like to support, is like seeing people with thought and stuff. But it comes with a cute little cap.
I was just gonna say,
cute. But it just, this one is kind of like, this one kind of gives me like Sunday cozy vibes. It's very like warm and inviting, but it's also fresh and slightly floral. So it's like this is not something anyone, I don't think, will ever have a problem with, because I love my like beautiful, like sexy, deep, like oody, woodsy type of scents, like the patchoulis, like, and the garlic wood, like, you know, that's my thing. But this is so pretty. Like, just, it smells like, it's beautiful. And the best thing about Trudons is that it doesn't matter like what kind of scents you're into. None of them are so overwhelming that you're going to get a headache, and they all burn and they fill the room. They have a great throw, but they fill the room, and then it kind of invites you into this space and creates this ambiance without it being like overwhelming. Even the burn, like when it's flickering in its beautiful vessel, it's stunning, like the whole experience. So I got the scent. It's called Himara. That one is a new scent from them. I've had the other ones that they came out with, and now I'm just like, this is the best. This is the best. I love this one. I'm going to talk about this one. It's called Carrier Freres, and this is their holiday collection from this year. This is my favorite from them. But they're actually the sister to Trudon. So they come from the same family, but Carrier Freres is kind of like her baby sister, the more like financially like attainable, reasonable type of situation, because she's right around like 40. And then the Trudons can be right around like 100. The Himara was the alabaster was a little pricier, but I love it.
I'm like, I want the alabaster. It looks so pretty.
And I mean, even just sitting, I feel like it's just a nice sitting piece. But the Carrier Freres ones are same philosophy as Trudon, because they are sisters. But this one is their pine and fir, the rose and fir. And this one is like, it's amazing because it's kind of like 3 Trudon candles in one. It is stunning. Like, it is literally like the sexiest rose, and I don't even like rose. Like, you know, I'm not really like a rose.
Yeah, that's not your
like sexy. Like, wow, you smell like money type of situation. Like the house smells like money. I'm rich today. Like that type of situation. So it's just really pretty because, and this burns. Like what I like about them is it burns all the way to the end. So it doesn't like leave that like candle, like which I don't like. I feel like I get my money's worth when that happens. And then there's 2 brands that I'm also obsessed with. This one is by a brand called Pigment. It is very inexpensive in the sense that for the quality, I would expect it to be a little bit pricier. But just to show kind of like the packaging is really like artistic.
Cute.
Very cute. And this one is Sunday Ritual. And this one I actually have not even featured on my Instagram yet, but it's minty, fresh, like clean. Like if you want a beautiful, clean fragrance, this is it. Like when I bought this, I mean, when I got this actually in the mail, she gifted it to me. I think so sweet of her. But when I opened it, my mom and my sister had to smell it twice. That's how good it was. They're like, wait, whoa, that smells so good. And it's just like,
I know.
I'm taking notes. But this one has like the notes are like bergamot, spearmint, and basil. Like, but I don't really smell the basil. I smell the bergamot and the mint more. So it's a beautiful combo. One last one that I really love. Sorry, I'm like featuring all my candles, but that's how you know I'm an addict.
We love it.
Yeah.
But I laughed. I've already gotten a text from someone, Lori, who's like, "Oh my gosh, if you become addicted to to candles now," and I'm like, "Business been."
The other one is by this brand called Fifth, Fvith. I forgot to have it next to me. It's in my bedroom. But I have so many by them, and it's very sexy. If you guys give me a second, I can bring it. I'm gonna run one over. Give me 1 second.
And then also your next thing is we're gonna ask her what her current favorite her all-time favorite perfume is, because she's truly a junkie, but she's amazing. Like we have a lot of similar scent kind of vibes that we call it.
Definitely. So, okay. So this is Fifth. And so I have many by them.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I was wondering about those. Where did I just see those?
Probably on my social media.
Okay. Oh yeah. I did. Okay. I was like, I just saw those. That was from you.
And it's amazing because they have different scents. This one is sexy in the sense that it has a black wax.
Yeah.
And it burns really beautifully. Each scent is very powerful, but this is not for the type of person. If you don't like strong, intense scents, this isn't for you. Like if you like things that are milder, then like Carrier Ferris or Pigment would be really nice for you. If you like strong, intense, Trudon and Fifth is up your alley. I like strong, intense. Me and Abby love strong, intense. It's just very unique. Like I've never found fragrances that kind of blend. They're very when you look at their notes, you're like, are you sure they'll smell good? And it's like, yeah, it smells really good. Like this one is and they burn very beautifully. So that's also a favorite of mine. I get my candles from this space in Scottsdale, Arizona. She ships it to me, but she, just like my skincare, like your skincare, you need like a person, an expert to tell you what you like or don't like.
Yeah.
I have a person.
You need your people.
Yes, I have my person. Her name is Kim, and she's the owner of Regency Mod. And she always like curates, like I'll tell her what my vibe is, and she'll curate for me what she knows that I need. And so she'll tell me, no, you won't like that. Or if you give her budget, she'll just pick whatever you want, things that will play well together. And then for my fragrances, do you want to go first? Because I've been talking for like a million years.
No, I love it. You go first, because then I brought okay, also, by the way, this is a common, do we text every day about fragrance, or like you guys think that we talk about skincare all the time? We don't.
I would say that we talk about skincare like once a month maybe, and then perfume is like on a daily, like every day.
Yeah. We're kind of like, what's our vibe today? What are we gonna like? Sometimes we're twinning from afar.
You're like, I wore Grand Soir today. So did I. Like, go to this.
Okay, you go first because I'm curious.
I would say like my all-time favorite fragrance is probably like from Fragrance Studio. And this is special to me because Abby and I were talking about this perfume, and we were like, let's buy this for our birthdays. Like, we're going to be fragrance twins because her birthday is literally a day before mine. Yeah. So she had like, her daughter had already purchased it for her. And then Abby ended up actually, unfortunately, having a reaction to this. And so then she ended up gifting it to me. And I was like, what? And it's literally like I mean, can we just talk about this packaging? Like, can we just discuss her for a second? Like, look at how Lux, like, she's cute.
And you guys, I was so sad because we were going to be twinning with this, but I did. What did we decide? Is it saffron? There's something that
Saffron in here that like her skin just doesn't like. So like usually
it was a real like a
Yeah.
itch factor. Okay, then I have a good one because I know you actually need to get it.
So DK or Miss Sensor.
But you want to tell them what that smells like? Because honestly, guys, it's so gorgeous. And I'm a huge fan of, I've got a few of my favorites from that same brand.
So this one is kind of like, it's sweet, but it's like also very like powdery. And me and Abby love powder. Like I love powdery scents. But this is unique because it's literally like a cashmere sweet hug. And I like that it's good for every season. So in the winter, it smells crisp. And in the summer, it smells sweeter, warmer. And I definitely believe that weather brings out different notes. And this one, when I wear it, every time I wear it, it's just easy. It's very lightweight, but it's also very intense at the same time. It's called Petals de Cashmere. Petals de Cashmere, so everyone can see. And I fell in love with this, and I found out about it from LuckyScent.com because they're literally the best ever. Like if you ever, like you're gonna get lost. They have they're kind of like the Biologique Recherche of like perfumes.
They are
So many amazing things, but. They sent me, I actually think I had Steven, who's always on their Instagram.
I love him. Yeah.
I think I had a conversation with him on the phone and he told me that this would be like up my alley. And he was right. Like it is so beautiful. Like it's just intoxicating.
So my plan, if my daughter goes to college in LA, I'm going to go down and I'm making an appointment with them to have them pick out. I'm going to go to Lucky Scent and have or Scent Bar, but that's like what I'm, how don't you want
everything.
Like I want to go and like have them pick out my drop off perfume so I'll always think of Zoe.
That makes me so happy. I love that. That's my goal for like this. I would say that's one of my goals for this year is like to either go to New York because it's been years. Go to New York or go to LA and when things are safer. And go to Lucky Scent so that I can have this whole experience because I love perfume. I have more. This is just like my favorite right now, my top favorite. I have a lot. Oh, yours is Feve?
No, I'm pulling out. Okay, so you're saying like all time like this. Yeah. As you guys know, I have a lot of perfume. So like if I purchase something again, like I have to have that. This is Bois d'Argent, and Bisma just recently smelled it in store, and then she's like, Abby, I think we have a new one for you. And I was like, oh, honey, nope, this is my second bottle.
You're like, none of us had this. And I said, oh my God.
This is my, like kind of my everyday, like when in doubt, everyday, easy to wear, but elegant. What would you describe it as? I call it baby powder honey. Like it's so yummy. And
like, it's not even like straight up baby powder. It's so much more complex.
Than that.
But also like lightweight. Like it's very easy to wear. It's not like, it doesn't give you a headache at all whatsoever. Like one of my favorite people there who's the general manager of Dior, and I don't know if I'm a Dior lover, everyone, just letting everyone know that I love Dior. She's like, yeah, she does. But when I went in, I was like, oh my God, Lionel, like this is I'm obsessed with this. And so then he goes, Bisma, close your eyes. And I said, okay. So then he just went, and and then he goes, turn around, and then he went, actually, he didn't even make me, he went around me, and he went, like spraying it all over me. And the way it sits and like my jacket still smells like it, but I would say that that's elegance in a bottle. Like if you want to feel sophisticated, boss baddie, like total boss bitch, like, oh, I'm here to serve, but I'm cute and I'm elegant. Powerful, but I'm not in your face. That's how she is. Like that's how I would describe her.
That's what I was like. I was like, yes, you have to go get it. Like we discuss what we're going to
purchase, and she actually tells. It's so funny because Abby will be like, I'm just gonna buy whatever. Like if I love a perfume, I'm gonna buy it. I have to think about my perfumes forever. But I'll be like, Abby, should I get this? And I'm thinking she's gonna be like, yes, get it, yes. But like instead, she's always like, no, Bisma, you don't need it right now. Just wait. And I'm like, okay. And so she reins me in on my perfume needs and wants.
We're semi bad for each other, but we're mostly good.
Yeah.
And then the next one I'm going to share, because I know you're a bit obsessed with this. You don't.
I don't even know. I don't think that. Yeah, I don't. But I've. Yeah.
This is Mezensier, I believe, if I'm butchering it, but this one's Tray Share, and this is another one that I would call. I kind of been into those, or I would say in general, I want something that's easy to wear, but still has that badass or a little bit of that. Like, and have you smelled this yet?
I haven't. You know what's so funny is one of my friends who lives in London on Instagram, his name is Paul. He told me that I need to actually get their candles. He was like, you're gonna be obsessed with their candles because he works at Selfridges in London. Funny. He works at Selfridges in London.
I was like, whoa, this is a good contact.
But he was like, you need this candle. So then I started following them maybe like last year. And because he and I talk about candles and candle obsessions, but I was like, oh my God, I need to try their perfumes because they have so many pretty ouds and things like that. And their packaging is so sexy, sleek. So I really want to try it. I haven't had the chance to smell it because I've never seen it. And so when I saw Lucky Scent had it, I was like freaking out. I literally was scrolling through stories and I had to go back and I said, wait, is that Lucky Scent posting that? And I was so happy because I was like, finally, like I can get my hands on this. And then Abby's like, I bought 5. Like, don't worry. Like,
I did not buy. Oh my gosh. Okay, I may have bought 3, but let's not
don't exaggerate. But you know what I mean? I bought 5. We're fine.
Yeah, that's why everybody, we need to live right next to each other so we can do that. But we do consult. Like I do research and we consult, and she reins me in. Sometimes I don't always confess to things until afterwards, and then she's happy. She's not judgy of me.
Never. I think that perfume, if that's a passion of yours, I'm just like, go for it. Because like, I mean, that's how I am with candles. My husband will literally tell me, like, you literally have more than enough. And I'm very aware of that. Like, I know. But I love it so much that sometimes I just can't stop. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to get it. Like, it's fine. Because life is too short. Like, enjoy it. And right now, especially with everything else going on in the world, like, if this is the thing, this is your outlet, do it. I'm just kind of like, that's fine. Have fun. It's okay.
Oh, I know. That's why I love. So I just adore you. And also, obviously, you guys, we need to continue to do these because there's more questions. And then again, we could get more into, there's a lot of subjects we could be chatting about. But to conclude, I didn't get your last perfume or your seasonal one.
My seasonal, you're like, wait, we're not done yet. My seasonal probably right now, I have so many. Oh, it was Moonlight in Heaven by Killian.
Oh, you guys, she made me get this. How do you like that? And I love it. But she's so good because she'll be like, I'll tell her my vibes. Like I'm like, oh gosh, I'm having a moment. I believe Randy got it too. I'm laughing because we all love it. But it's like that mango sticky rice, powdery, elegant. Yeah. I was just like, and also it has a clean.
Yeah, I can't even describe. This is the scent that I really can't even describe because when you look at their description online, you're like, I don't think I'm gonna like this. But then I wasn't. And it's like, wow, this is beautiful. And I think that's the beautiful thing about Killian is he does a really good job at creating scents, and it's beautiful. That's it's so pretty and it's so easy. Like for me, I wear this almost every day because like with my patients, obviously I don't want to create headaches or anything with them. This is lightweight enough, but everyone's like, oh my God, you smell so good. Like, what do you want? and it's like I got my Killian, but it stays on. Like it stays on. I'm just like, don't ask me questions because then you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, she spends money on her perfume. But it's like the best experience ever because it really does. Like it's perfect for morning and night. Like very like transitional. I like layering it with other perfumes too, especially like my heavier ones, like Francois. That can sometimes give me a little headache. And then yeah, like that one gives me a little bit of headache. But then using like Febe Delicious from Dior or the Killian Moonlight in Heaven really is like amazing.
Layering those two together?
Like layering Moonlight in Heaven and Grand Soir is actually really pretty.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wondered if you were layering Feb and
I mean, I think I've tried that and I'm just like not crazy about it. Another layer that I really love that I always get compliments on is using Byredo's 11th Hour with the Moonlight in Heaven. That's a really sexy combo because it's spicy with, but 11th Hour doesn't work for you, unfortunately.
But see, now I'm like laughing because now that you showed the cashmere, I want to try it again. This is how bad I am. Like maybe I don't have but you're right. Okay.
If you just sprayed it on your clothes, maybe that would be better.
Okay, clearly you guys were showing our side over here.
Relationship.
Okay, really quick, I just want to say thank you so much. Clearly, we need to do these like monthly, guys. Do you think they would love to have you back because I also know that there'd be more knowledge. We did try to address questions, but I knew there would be no way to get through all of it. But what I would tell you is what I would say to you is that really reach out to BISMA. Give her a few days, guys. I know already so many people have said that they've reached out to you, so your phone might be blowing up afterwards. I will leave down there, but it's BISMA R at artisanbeauty.com. And then also the Daily Skin Informative, you can private messenger her there. She is just, I honestly, clearly she's my bestie. We're little soul sisters. But besides that, she's like a gem of a person, but she's completely helped me on so many levels. And I just know anybody who has taken my recommendation and reached out to you, just love you. Well, I feel you're going to be in good hands. And I think this will be so fun to do because we have a lot of other.
We said that we were only going to talk for an hour. It's already been an hour and a half. We could go on to 2 hours if we wanted to, but we have to
I'm the one having to, I've got another commitment. Otherwise I'd stay on.
Like everyone, we don't want to like bore everyone.
Yeah, we don't want to bore everyone, but we just wanted to say for all of you that did come, I will leave all her information below. You guys are amazing, and just thank you so much.
Thank you guys, lots of love. Thank you for allowing me to be here, Abby.
Oh my gosh!
And I can't thank you for all my already patients that are like praising me in the comments. It's so kind and sweet. And I can't wait to meet all the new faces. We're so excited. I'm so excited. We have lots of fun. I can't wait to make your skin dreams come true.
Yeah, she does, guys. She really does. So thank you guys so much for coming. We love you. And we will talk to you guys soon.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lots of love. Happy Sunday.
Yes. Happy Sunday.
Bye.